there's a mixed emotion about the game. I think for the period of 11 men, we were in the game and we had some chances, and I think we can do better. And I think I've been here a short time, and there are definitely things I think that we can utilise our strengths better, especially with the system of the wing backs. We can be more urgent in giving a problem with that, because I could see opportunity there tonight in ways that we didn't quite take. Fair at the end of the game, great. 10 men here for half an hour, like, you understand that a lot of things could happen in that, and I don't think we gave them lots and lots of great chances. So I like that part of it, and we have to believe. I need to be the first one that believes that this is possible.
So the problems pile up for Chelsea, and look at this. They've now not scored in 4 consecutive matches in all competitions for the first time since 1993. They failed to score in 17 games this season, their most since the 94-95 season. Lampard says the only way to get that right is to keep working hard on the training ground.
The last bit is sometimes confidence, and maybe that's an individual thing or a team confidence. So I think I'll probably come back to the work side of it there. If you work and keep going, and something can change. Mason's chance at the end might go in, and this tie feels completely different. The early parts of the game, we might get a goal, which gives the whole 90 minutes a different feel. So continue to work, speak to the players. No player doesn't want to score a goal, if you know what I mean. Players they do want to, so sometimes they need support, confidence, and push in a positive way. And not just before next week. It's my job to the end of the season, because it's been happening. And I come into this, so my job is to try and address it as well as I can.
Well, it was a landmark night for Carlo Ancelotti, his 35th Champions League win in charge of Real Madrid. That's the most of any manager in history, overtaking Vicente Del Bosque's tally of 34. Real Madrid have won 30 of the 31 Champions League games when scoring first under Ancelotti, but he knows that this tie isn't over yet.
We are satisfied for the result, for the performance, but it's not over yet. We have to fight, to sacrifice other 90 minutes at Stamford Bridge, and we have to be ready for this. We are satisfied only for tonight. It's not over yet, and we know really well that Chelsea will try to put everything next week.
Carlo Ancelotti says at 2-0 the tie's not over. Do you, the players and the fans, need to believe there can be another special night? Absolutely. If you don't believe in top-level sport, I don't think things will go your way. That's a percentage of the game, is a mindset and a belief. And the fans will. The fans will come and support us. We're realists. We're 2-0 down against Real Madrid. That's fact now. That's done. We're in a place where we want to prove some things wrong, to change the tone, to change the story. It'll be different next week, and we're not favourites. We were not favourites yesterday, and we're not favourites today. That's football, and the possibilities are ours if we can take them.
Yeah, it was Gary Cottrell, our reporter, asking the questions there, and he's in Madrid now. Let's go to Gary. Right, Ancelotti and Lampard have both said that the tie is not over. What's the feeling out in Madrid this morning? What are the Spanish newspapers saying?
Well, I think the Real Madrid fans, are quietly satisfied that it's a job half done. Certainly, the Spanish reporters I was speaking to last night felt the same, and that's reflected in a couple of the football newspapers here in Spain, here in Madrid. I'll show you the headline of Marca. That's the image there of Vinicius Junior and Benzema celebrating that first goal. Benzema, as they label this double act over here, and the headline translates to a good result, which I'm sure most of people would agree with. And then the other main football newspaper here, same image, just a different framing of it, and that headline translates to a giant step. So certainly the paper's satisfied, but as you heard there, both managers cautioning against anyone thinking that this tie is over. Carlo Ancelotti said in his Spanish answers at least 6 or 7 times that Real Madrid are going to have to go to Stamford Bridge and suffer, going to go to Stamford Bridge and sacrifice. And Frank Lampard saying the same. He's urging the players, the fans, himself to try and make it a magical night, another special night at Stamford Bridge. Of course, it's going to be a difficult task. Carlo Ancelotti is the king of the Champions League. Real Madrid, of course, historically and at the moment the reigning champions, the kings of the Champions League. 10 shots on target Chelsea had to face last night. They haven't had to do that since the Champions League of 2012. But Frank Lampard wants to look at the positives. He mentioned there, didn't he, that lack of confidence up front because the players just aren't scoring at the moment. Not scored, as you alluded to there, in the last 4 games in all competitions. Not scored at all this month. He's going to work on that on the training ground to build that confidence on the pitch, but also in the meeting rooms and in the offices. Talk to the players about what it is that can be done to put that right. He knows a thing or two about scoring special goals, doesn't he, Frank Lampard, on big nights. Another positive is that they could have crumbled, they could have caved in after the sending off, but they didn't. They came close, didn't they, really, to pulling one back. He will take some confidence from that, will Frank Lampard, will the players. People around me in the press box thought that Real Madrid would go on and kill the game off 2, 3, 4 and make it really impossible back at Stamford Bridge next week. 2 of their top players, their prestige players who've been out through injury, came through the game well and will carry on being available, which is good news. Thiago Silva played well, was doing the media duties after the game last night, didn't look in any way like he'd suffered physically as a result of coming back after that injury and playing the game. And the same N'Golo Kante, we spoke to him last night. He said he felt fit and well and wanted to do his best for the team to try and progress through to the next stage of this competition. And there is history in terms of Chelsea turning a result like this around. Remember, this time last year, it was the other way round. The first leg was at Stamford Bridge, but Real Madrid beat Chelsea 3-1, a 2-goal advantage, came back to the Bernabeu, and Chelsea, frankly, blew Real Madrid away in the first 75 minutes, went 3-0 up, we're going through. And in the end, a couple of bits of genius from Real Madrid in the final 15 minutes, got 2 goals back, and Real Madrid went through. The same group of players, let's face it, the same group of players as well quite recently at Stamford Bridge in the Champions League, won 2-0 against the fancied Borussia Dortmund. Same group of players in the group stages in the Champions League this season, won 3-0 against AC Milan, who of course themselves know in the quarter-finals of the Champions League. So Frank Lampard wants the fans to believe, wants the players to believe. They've got to start scoring, of course, they've got to sort that out. But the fans last night, a little bit disgruntled, the 2,000 or so Chelsea fans. They left well before the end, but they saw the humour in it as well. They were singing to the Real Madrid fans, you're only here to see the Chelsea. They were chanting Frank Lampard's name. They'll certainly be doing that if he can get a result and go through this time next week. And you never know, Todd Boehly with that 3-0 prediction may turn out to be correct. He just perhaps had the wrong game. Maybe it'll be 3-0 at Chelsea. The fans would certainly love that. I'm not predicting that, though. I wouldn't put too much money on it.
Maybe. You never know. Gary, thank you.